What's the topic?
Well, better pick one. The crickets, I can hear crickets.
It'll happen. It'll happen. Don't worry. We gotta get something good though before something stupid happens.
That's inevitable. Something stupid happening. Just don't know when.
You guys watch Witz's stream last night?
If you did it live, it would have been the wrong hour.
What's the right hour?
Oh, it's getting late here, so in the last 6 hours, this is my time, which would be.
Yeah, but we don't care about Britain or New Zealand or wherever your weird country you're from. Like, it doesn't matter.
Australia, mate.
I said them all. I said them all but yours on purpose.
You dopey.
Like, we just don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Canada, like all these silly countries. You guys are crazy. It doesn't matter what's up, Supreme Leader. I'm getting rid of time zones anyway, so.
Well, you need daytime and nighttime. You have to keep them.
Yeah, we get rid of time. Everyone's clock's going to be the same number.
Yeah, I reckon that'd work. So 12 o'clock here now, or 12:15, so it's 12:15 where you are. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be the same time everywhere. That way no one's fucking confused anymore. You guys know what a perfect number is?
No, what's a perfect number?
Uh, like 6 is a perfect number.
It's a
'Cause
good
it
one.
has, what's that?
6 is a good one.
It's a weird one. It doesn't follow the rest of what the rest of them do. It's the only one that doesn't do something. I forget what, but it's one. Uh, oh, it's where a number adds up. So when you add a number up, it's like 1 times 6. What does make a perfect number? Oh, it's when you add up all the numbers in between it, like 1 plus 2 plus 3. No, that's not it either. What is a perfect number? Stacks. So what's the perfect number, Stacks?
1. Is that too boring for you? You want to hear something more detailed?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna go. What's the perfect number?
Well, in what way? How do you mean perfect? I'm sorry. I just returned for somebody catch me up here, please. Schlitzer, you've been paying attention, right? Explain this number shit.
6, I think it is a perfect number. 1 plus 2 is 3. I don't know. I think it's a perfect number. I think there's a few, maybe 28.
What the
Same
sum
thing.
of all the previous numbers or something? But
I don't
what
know.
makes it perfect?
I know the 6s.
Oh, all its divisors. Here's how it works. Here's how it works. So all its divisors, excluding the number itself, if you add them, equal the number. So we'll do 6. That's the easy one. 6 is 1 times 6 is 6. And then 2 times 3 is 6. And that's all its divisors. Not excluding the number itself. 1 plus 2 plus 3. Those are all its divisors.
Oh,
6.
33 is the best.
No, 33 is not a perfect number.
It says so in Gemini, though. First few perfect numbers are 6, 28, 496, 81. Oh, it's 33550. I'm sorry.
It's in your
336.
file.
So
I
there's
already
two
wrote it
30.
down.
There's
I
two
already wrote it down,
33s.
Snax.
Oh, that's a huge number. It's a huge bitch.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty neat. There's something neater that I forgot when you keep going with it. I think it was the strings, like 6 is 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? 28 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something. Up to 7. No, it goes up to 7. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? The next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It goes just, it's just every number basically. And then there's something weird with that list of numbers, though. I forgot what it is.
That's interesting. I noticed a rule with the first 4, but the last one's like a zillion numbers. Oh, let me have a cigarette before I do that math. Everything breaks at the 10 though. if you reduce it down to digital roots, or it's 1 9, or it's gonna bust. I should make a Fibonacci, like for the stuff that I do. Like I should make a visualizer for that. At least I can like, be better than Fundy. Actually, the video game environment to look at mathematics is pretty interesting because of like, it's all math anyway. So like you can basically turn the numbers into whatever.
Bro, you can do more than that. They ran you know, there's inside Minecraft you can make machines. I wish Bob Dole was here. Inside Minecraft you can make machines to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do stuff, things will happen. You can make like
Yeah.
See,
like
the
the
AI
iron
one they made
farming. What's up?
AI one they made the GPT in Minecraft. Let me find the video. Oh, they will love it.
You just stole the fucking punchline from me. Are you out of your goddamn mind, sir?
Sorry, sir. Jeremy. My bad.
Holy
Sorry.
shit, bro.
Shut up. I will shut up. I will shut up.
That's going in your fucking file too. So they made Chat GPT inside Minecraft.
You're talking to a person who already knew that.
Yeah, that's crazy. They made Chat GPT right inside. You could run it inside Minecraft.
Well,
Bro,
do you
they
know
are
what redstone
brilliant.
is?
What's up?
You know what redstone is in
Yeah.
Minecraft? So
Yeah.
so it can program that kind of stuff, which I really, honestly, I've
Yeah.
tried to do that before, and I'm like, man, why is my shit not working? This is simple. Kids can do this? Damn.
Yeah, there's some little 10-year-old kid made Chat GPT work. Nah, it's probably older guy. Who knows? But that's
Right.
fucking crazy.
But I'd theorize that, like, basically because the geometry itself can contain all kinds of shit. Program shit, like how things go together, the reason things join, in blocks and stuff like that. And that's a lot easier than messing around with regular code, because that seems like thinking. And what we want to do is play games, since we can. We can make everything that we do gamey. It doesn't have to be drudgery, like like a 90s web designer or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I heard they're coming out with Minecraft too.
Don't spoil the joke this time, Hammer Eyes. Go on, Jeremy.
No, there's no there's no joke. It's just coming
I'm,
out Minecraft too.
I'm on mute. Sorry, Jeremy.
What's up, Hammer?
I said I'm sorry for the first one. That would never happen again.
No, you're fine. It's all good.
No, I didn't think this one was a joke, but for the sake of a joke, I made it. Anyway, so
Relax.
what's new in Minecraft 2? Tell me about it.
I have no idea. I just heard it on TikTok
All right.
somewhere.
Oh, they're gonna put GPT in it?
I have no idea what they're gonna put in it.
Is it gonna look better?
We're gonna get Jeremy off TikTok, okay? It's like clearly causing delusions.
No, TikTok's awesome. I don't know what's real or not anymore. Other than that, though, it's awesome.
I feel like I've never had COVID, and I've never watched TikTok. So that's two things about me that you know. Check that out.
Correlation
What?
equals causation. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I just had COVID and just recovered last week. I was.
I'm sure that they're unconnected. I'm just saying these are things a lot of people have experienced. A threshold of experience of reality. I haven't. I know of TikTok, and I know of the other thing.
I'm never ever. I will refuse to use TikTok.
I don't
TikTok
have
for
a
me doesn't
problem with
exist.
it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just like, I just
Amorite?
haven't done it yet, and I'm like, man, let me keep that.
Go on,
That's why
check.
you
You know.
guys will never be in the know like Jeremy is, okay?
I have friends that are like, oh, I've been on Instagram all day, and like, oh, you should check out all this bullshit that I've found on Instagram that I need you to know about. And I'm like, I don't care about this bullshit. It's a good thing I don't use Instagram, but TikTok might have some valuable things. Who knows? I just don't. I don't think Instagram is a very good thing to be productive.
I agree.
I don't even use that.
Is that eggshell? Must be eggshells like stream still going off in the background. Not
Oh,
sure
you
if
know what? I
anyone
was
else is hearing
thinking
that.
what he should be doing with it is to basically then post process these. Did I say that right? Little post-it notes. Post process these post-it notes and make them into a JSON file format so they can be used in a neurosymbolic method for calling, and then so that you could really make something that understood the way that arguments go and could calculate it really quickly. But I shouldn't tell him how to do anything like better, you know. He's gonna create some Doctor Evil shit, isn't he? He is gonna.
Is that me?
No, Eggshells, but I'm just also joking.
Have you used paperclip? Snax?
No.
I know. I mean,
What?
I know. Me and you have a discussion
What?
anyway, but in
I don't know, like,
general,
but why? But just why use paperclip? Sell me on it.
no, I'm not selling you. The thing is, what you're doing is interesting. I told you, so this, but also I told you where I am standing with the whole thing. Paperclips sort of do what you're doing. Is it?
Oh, is this the scenario when you tell AI to make paper clips non-stop and it's the end of the world, some doomsday scenario?
No.
There's an extension. It might be a joke reference to that thing, but it's basically like an extension for AIs to be doing more things, like extensions to browser. It's like a bridge to other applications. Or am I wrong? Maybe I don't use it enough. I don't really. I've never actually like downloaded it. Hammer, is that what you use all the time? Paperclip.
No. Hardly. I'm not a. I mean, I've used agentic AI here and there for a bunch of things, like I have my own fronting. They're not in the clouds or local. Also, yeah, not into it, but just I know what you're doing. Sort of, I know what you're doing. Well, I think paperclip is close-ish. You're trying to do. I might be wrong.
I would doubt that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I might be wrong completely. So
What do you? I don't. It depends on what you think I'm doing, because I'm really not 100% sure either. Um, it's a process of like, well, some building and then some disaster, and then disaster recovery leads to I should change all this shit so it works better, which is development. And when I get past that development, I'm like, all right, cool. Now let's get to some forward progress here. I do that, and it's just kind of uh, 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, type shit. But it's like it's gonna be able to do pretty much anything I can do to some degree, or assist me in anything that I like to do or can do. Eventually, for music writing, stuff like I don't know, like all the stuff that I need that I can't bother making somebody else help me with. Yeah, if it's the
right,
broad definition of what I'm trying to do.
they eat instead of you.
Good help is hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a good app builder friend, I'd already have these apps made, But now I made the app builder friend. Now he's my friend and we make apps.
Lovely. It's good. Very good.
It's different, man. It's like shocking that it actually can happen like this.
My only hesitation is the quality of the code. One of the reasons now we're loving what we do in terms of security. It's a open season. So it's an open season for hunting. It's just crazy. Like when you write code in the context when you use AI or vibe coding, how they call it nowadays. It's just an open season for us.
Yeah, vibe coding is where you don't understand what even you're doing.
Let me share a secret with you.
I
Have
feel like
junior developers, mid developers, they have no Scooby. When I tell them, I want to go in technical, when I tell them, okay, this thing you're writing is unsecure because you're doing such and such in such and such place, they go, I don't even understand. They just know, they just know how to write a logic in the code. So, yeah. That's my only reservation. That's why we're kind of going quite sensitive about if we're using AI to write code.
Yeah, whatever. You
I
know,
don't
it
know.
depends. It
Again,
depends what you're trying to do. Like that, you need to have something that's really resilient or not. I think you can prototype stuff out like it could be basically like a paper doily. It doesn't have to have like all kinds of, it's not like a enterprise grade thing you're making there, but just to test the idea out, like a sandbox, if kind of app, if you will, or something that you can just run in a browser, where you're just like kind of organizing the ideas out, placement, functions, all that stuff translates. If you wanted to bring it to something that's a heavier duty, like coding back, it's just sketching it out is the most important part.
but then you need to run it. You need to basically that's where the problem begins. That's when you start using AI to say, okay, how do I write this piece of code? I go, just write it. What are
The really
other
really
considerations?
the super dope thing that I'm able to do is like without I don't even set up a server, but it'll like run little web servers and stuff like that for different processes that I might be running, and that is really cool because that once you have like that kind of architecture, it's like you can do a lot of shit.
When you run it locally, yes. But when you want to expose it, it's a different story.
No, I mean just like what I said. Basically, just like building web UIs for the agentics is part of the harness of it, like part of how you control all the shit, like the reins of it all, and how you can have visibility on it and that kind of stuff. So that is like really supposed to just be on that system alone, not like broadcast to the entire internet. And so whether that or not that is safe from attack is another question. Really build everything like I'm perceiving somebody's going to be targeting, me personally. Just for this development stage, it's fine. It's cool that it will spin up its own like servers, run test code.
All head containers, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I don't really know if the servers it's running are containerized within Pi or if they're running on the system itself.
Are you Windows guy or Linux guy?
I'm using a
Usually it's containers, but again, it can be a process running, and it's fine. It would do the job for you. So
Yeah, I've just like gotten around some cool stuff, just being able to like vibe code out. Well, just like asking for it. Hey, can you create me a front end for the memory because I want to be able to look at some of these entries and edit them. And there's certainly a lot of junk in there, man. Pruning database, like active memory call is definitely, and then being able to just plop in code or whatever else to there. Hey, this. I don't talk to it. It really cuts out a lot of the time that I would normally be spending with the agent using tokens to sort of have it ingest certain types of data. That's a big help. That's a big leap forward. Because I guess like a lot of people would be trying to use like RAG or something like that to do these types of uh, like data synthesis. If you like, or am I saying that right?
yep.
But because this is like it's a vectorized database set, and it's like running on its own local server. It's basically like a hot source. Like it doesn't have to. It's very fast in the recall. Like just to type in any word, I get returns across the whole network of it in like an instant. So it shows topographically like all of these different entries like for a keyword, and then it's performing like a some kind of like Monte Carlo percentage guesser at like what the relevant applicability is, like what the most salience is for the entries, so it pulls the right thing. Then those get weighted so they become stronger over time. The wrong entries fade. And eventually they get like tombstoned, I guess, after they're not used for like I think 30 days or something.
What do you use for vector database out of interest?
It's called a MSAM.
Sense.
MSAM memory for AI.
Let me use that one. MSAMP.
M and then Sam, like the name of a person. Sam.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's like much of a
Oh
modification
yeah.
or if
Okay.
you see
That's
what it
much.
is.
It's kind of a not in use anymore, or at least the whole thing is kind of the GitHub repo is kind of offline. Maybe not.
Right. So I have like a fork of that, which is like maybe a portion of that already. Taken it and grown it out.
Because they can use, if you want to, things like Redis. Example, the quadrants, you got things like, mill this, moves, not three.
It's like atomic.
You can use Vespa. Use Vespa?
It's like I don't know.
It's quite famous, actually. These are all on-prem, not non-cloud, is what I mean.
Since it's atomic, it's granular in the way that it do searches. Semantic. It's a combination of this with the agent harness that allows it to like basically remember bash commands. So it can like have memory that's like in bash. Does that make sense?
Memories in Bash.
When it uses like bash scripting.
Yeah, I use write quite a lot of it. I mean, you see me in the chat, put them left, right, center. But anyway,
So I could be like, hey, remember, I like blueberries. And that can be, a semantic thing. But also a semantic thing could be like, there's a whole string of shit that you can just like paste into a terminal window and it will do that. That's like a way, like as an action, like a verb. So remember, like, hey, I can do the thing, and it goes like this. It stores it as that, but it also attachment metadatas. Like, there's 12 points of metadata that it could attach to that thing. So we'll call that process when it's hit by topical search. So yeah, in that way, like, started putting its own like little program routines, rotating, call them to do it again. And then I was like, holy shit, this is a fucking learning thing, And it was cool. But then I realized, like, I don't need to do it. Just do it. It could work.
I'll put a couple of things for you, Snax, in the chat. So, these are
Yeah, I think we already got this figured out, but I'll have my bot take a look at it.
There are quite number of them. Number of them you can use. You got Milvis, which is also very famous. This was quite famous. You know, these are all. This was, to be honest, gonna have a lot of traction at the moment. So its scalability and also the amount of performance out of it.
Yeah, this is pretty similar, I would guess. Like, because it's got like these different metrics
Would you
for
like to pause, Chris?
weighting. So like the cosine distance is one that we use for like memory compaction, like for specifically like how often a thing has been tapped. You know, like if it hasn't been, then it's maybe not a core memory that needs to be like backed up in a vault or whatever.
Like I say, it's one of those things. Have a look if you want to. Just if the thing is working for you, then it's working for you. That's it. To be fair.
Well, it's like I still don't know how all this shit works, man. You know, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I really don't know anybody that does really a hundo understand all these things. And
When you say you don't know, what is it you don't know? You don't
I
quite
don't
a
know
bit.
what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. It's fundamental because there's no like. I mean, I do think I must have pretty decent fundamentals to be doing well in it and to like chew up like new information and try to apply it. At the same time, like yeah, some of it like I was unsure of like, well, how it actually like interfaces memory system. What is it about like the whole um illusion of it all working seamlessly together that I'm actually trying to make happen, you know? So some of those things like, oh wait, I'm trying to go at that from one perspective because I want this effect to happen, but really there's something very different occur architecturally easy, or I could do it hard. So I was just some of it thinking like that, like how do you set this up for how do you set up for success, man? You know, build for a strong foundation. And for me,
Here's the
like
thing.
I think having the memory is really important.
Because it depends. It's like what I do for a living. Okay, we need. I told you about last year. We put a hefty, quite expensive, very expensive. You know, in especially millions of system for a customer for machine learning. We have to ensure this fully optimized hardware. Then or anything down to cabling and how everything is done. So you can imagine, the pain we had to go through, and then testing and whatnot. Okay, so that's us. So as an example, I had to fully understand what GPUs I'm using, what CPUs I'm using, down to how I am laying out the cards on a board. What sort of boards we're using, north and south. Am I going 135, 132, whatever, in terms of how I'm putting my slots and my PCI cards or Express,
You know,
whatever.
make sure
What the
everything's
horse
got
shenanigans.
it.
Horse shenanigans.
The right. Yeah, I know.
Then there's a software aspect of it, which was a different story. Then, as an example, I wasn't involved much in the software aspect of it because they already had the team, but I kind of managed to get my hands in it in terms of, kind of a buddy with one of the developers. Say, okay, let's see what you have. And sort of got involved, but not in depth. Yeah, like I say, it would help you if you put in down, like, do what I did. It will help you massively. Then you need to understand what you do. An example would say, okay, run this operating system, but again, why would you use such and such parameters? So yeah, I had to know the down to kernel level tweaking. Anything you can imagine. Or would it help me
Well,
to,
like I
for
guess
instance,
there's
what you do? No, because I can use, again, Google AI/AI or read the documentation to implement the things I want to implement. Does it help me? Yes, I understand the containers, I understand system, I understand operating systems. You know what I mean?
yeah, like okay. So for instance, here's like one thing is I just learned this about my agent harness, which is the Pi Mono, right? And then what that has
I
like really
think you told me.
they call it like 4 pillars that it uses for basically a search criteria, right? And that this is hard coded in. I was thinking about toying with this because I could expand it out to other things, right? So it would search this SQL for other manifold data, right? But like effectively, it's like semantic. Semantic is just like a fact. You know what I mean? It takes it as like truth, right? And then there's like a step by step, which is a different type of searching, for that information. But that's a type of information that it can look for, like instructions for it to do something, instructions for it to tell you to do something, anything that's that type of information. Um, do you follow what I'm saying? There's 4 of these basically. So, while I could create something that's like, oh, I want a musical category too. You know what I mean? Search for music, man. Like, we're gonna think about chordal theories and shit. I need you to have crazy words that you know. Well,
Mm.
it turns out that that's better to do as like if I just tag it as I'm tagging when I direct inject memories into it, I'm tagging those with like the dev, so that it knows that I put that there and it didn't. And then secondarily, like I can tag it with like, semantic, episodic, like one of those 4 categories of search criteria. And then I in quotes, if I just put it in quotes, whatever the thing I like I put musical in quotes, and then put the information down. And that could be a ton of information. It could be web pages. It could be shortcut commands. It could be whatever I want to. But I'd be like, oh, this is musical information. You should. Does that make sense? And then
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah.
it doesn't have to. So I don't have to make a rag for it. I can make basically like a seemingly unlimited amount of agentics with inside one memory system, and then it can just call that as a different face. Like it just pulls that information, creates a new instance, loads it with a prompt, and then really it's just a server that has all this brain data, you know. So that's kind of how I'm working with it right this minute.
But, like I say, you don't need to have full-on fundamentals into the nitty-gritty. You can sit down and talk to you about the machine learning and how it's done, and all the neural network and how you optimize it, how you use it, the formulas behind it. But I don't think you will benefit from it as an example. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah,
Hey
that
guys,
does make sense. But I'm just saying, last thing, just to close this topic. But it's like I didn't know how my the CLI was actually working, so I didn't know that it had those like search parameterizations, and
Mm.
so learning those types of things is like looking at the owner's
Yeah,
manual
it
to your
does help.
vehicle or something. And then there's other components that are core, like the sandbox. The sandbox has certain types of things to know about it, like and exceptions to the rule, ways that you can be Neo
Mm.
and bend the matrix, all those kinds of things. They're good to know. And so that's kind of the gulf of knowledge I'm trying to cross over right now, just like getting familiar with what I've actually built. You know what I mean? It's very expansive. It's very easy to like add these things in to where you're like, wait, I just added like 35 different fucking self-learning algorithms. Like, which one is actually learning? Like, or are they fucking with each other? So yeah,
yeah.
that's part of where I'm at. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Hey
And
guys,
so I went to look up all that information about the claw code. Dude, that the dude rewrote the whole library in 2 hours. Well,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
You have the download link.
hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
go for it.
Yep.
What's up, fellas? Seems like I stumbled upon an AI coding conversation. I was just gonna ask, whenever you guys are done, if what the conclusion of the moonrock conversation was yesterday, since I left because it got like really circular and laden down or whatever. Was there ever a final note on that topic?
I gave up because I was incessantly interrupted.
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Hope when you guys clipped some of that conversation that was Hall of Fame worthy, dude.
I
You can
think the
always go
bottom
back to
line is it wasn't a lie.
you can always go back to the last stream and listen up.
But have you guys seen like what's going on with this latest stuff with this Iran war?
I
The
was in the middle of a TikTok where they said Canada just caved, but yeah, the Iran thing's crazy. They got the straight. We blocked the straight off. Heads are buying oil off us. It's crazy. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, so it's like now we are controlling the strait. However, we're saying that it's a blockade, no one can pass. But then China just went right through and challenged us, and we didn't bother them.
Nah, they said they're gonna continue, but then nothing happened yet.
He said that, yeah, he tried to say that any ship that pays the toll to Iran to be able to go through, that because they've been doing that for the past couple of weeks, will not have safe passage across the high seas because we will not allow them to sail safely across the ocean if they're paying money to terrorists. Like, what the heck? Are we saying that we're going to pirate people? What is that? What kind of freaking statement is that, dude?
I
Yep.
think, if I'm
You've
not
gone
mistaken,
from
the
being the
Chinese
good
did.
guys.
Yep.
You've gone from being the good guys to
Oh.
literally like all of the
Fucking
bad guy
pirates.
tropes now.
Pirates of the seas. Here we go, allies. Allied powers at pirates. As if they haven't been the whole time, anyway.
Well, I mean,
English,
think
It's
about
war.
English
this.
What do
started
If
off
you?
you
as
fund
pirates, man.
terrorists, is that okay?
Well, you fund terrorists anytime you do a bunch of different things,
Who,
right?
who
The
said that
CIA.
like
And
an entire
I'm not
country
saying a
equals
bunch of
terrorist,
different
though?
things. I'm saying if you are right now currently funding a terrorist, do you have safe passage anywhere from
Real quick,
any country?
when did we equate a country of 90 million people equals terrorist?
Yeah, it's crazy. But Piezo and whoever else, just real quick before you jump into the Iran topic, I did want to ask Snax and Hammer, like, what is the purpose of you guys doing what you were doing earlier in the previous conversation? Like, what is your actual goal? Like, how is it actually helping you?
Dude, you
Or
could do a whole bunch
I
of shit,
am
bro.
I am basically without not going into details. At the moment dealing with a VC, venture capital, and
okay, so
what
money.
I'm trying to do is, I told you, I've been writing machine learning codes, but it's been ages now. I'm not new to this era, if you know what I mean. That makes
Okay,
sense.
that makes sense.
What
So
I'm,
messing with the
what I'm
stock market. Now, what about
He's
you,
exactly.
true to
Snags?
this.
The way the clock code guy did, dude, like you could connect a Discord chat app, put a few prompts in, and they'll do and create agents and do all kinds of shit
Mm,
on your
No,
behalf.
I get all that. I mean, I'm just saying, besides just posting for you on social media, SEO optimization, whatever, blah blah blah. Like Snags, what are you
Also,
making it
dude, you
for?
can actually write programs, bro.
I
You
I
can
have a
write
whole.
programs that write programs.
Dude,
Yeah.
I use Claude, bro.
Yeah,
Well, that's yeah.
yeah.
I,
I
of
know
course,
Yeah.
for what?
For
I of
fucking
course, did.
anything you could fucking even
Like
think
you
to
have a
fucking
business
imagine.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
have a
just
business
it's now
idea.
really
You
the
have
sky's
kind
the
of
limit.
Dude,
If you
Claude
can't
is.
even think to imagine it, you can write something to make you think better to imagine better shit to think
Yeah,
of to
Claude
you
is.
can say
imagine.
to it, "What?" That's one of my favorite ones. Is you go, "What am I not even thinking about?" And it just goes, "Here's 5 ideas," and you're like, "Fuck me, they are all brilliant." Or here's the other one I do sometimes where I'm like, "What prompt? What question haven't I asked you?" But this whole thing, I don't know if you can see my screen. I was raving about this before Snax and I were talking about it, and then I just went back to doing it because I'm that obsessed. It's nearly 1 a.m. I've got to go to sleep. I've got work tomorrow. But
This you know,
all of this
be
built from
careful of AI
scratch.
psychosis. I'm about to write a book
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah. But now I've got a voice-to-voice interface where I've got a guy called that I call Alfred. I think he's called Jarvis now, but I think I'm going to call him Alfred, who just builds himself. I go, I don't have a button on this dash. I want to have a thing where I can upload a file. And it goes, okay, I'll put it on there. And then you hit Control F5 and there's a button there. And now you can upload files and send him files and say, here's how I want this mapping to look. And here's what I want to change about that. And then I just sort of, it's a bit broken at the moment. I'm hitting an API. I just keep hitting my API limits. But if you see, these are the tasks I've done today. These are the different coding tasks I've done today. And there'd be, if that list could keep going on, there might be 20 of them, you know.
Is for your your
in my
work
control
or
panel.
what?
You could practically
What is
create
that?
your
Fun,
own
man.
company, bro.
What
Yeah,
did,
yeah, you can. I
so
will
you're
soon use this where I'm
Sorry, go
going to
ahead.
soon use this to just go, yeah, like give me, I already told it, go and find my expensive subscriptions that I'm paying for. It just went through all of my emails and goes, here are some subscriptions you're paying for that you don't need. I can easily just get it to be like, find me some ways to make money. And it spins up agents that can argue with one another. They go out and they do some research on the internet and they think about this, and they think about that, and they come back and go, what are you really interested in? And you go, this, this, and this. And they go, okay. And then they go away and they go, you can just, if you can describe that, it can build it, and then you can do it, and then you've got that thing. It's insane. Like this
What
guy
do
can
you-
turn on and off my lights. He can tell me whether my washing machine is finished yet. He can put stuff on the TV.
It's practically
It can watch your
Jarvis.
front door for you.
It is
can watch your
Jarvis,
back.
yes.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
Yeah,
it
there's
can
a
You want to
From his
call it
front
I
Al?
mean
holster.
Yo,
Yeah.
let Piezo get in, guys. Come on. Holy shit.
Sorry.
Oh, is he
yeah.
trying? Sorry, I couldn't. I'm gonna turn him up. I'm
100
sorry.
times. Yeah, you
Couldn't-
tried 100 times.
Sorry, you got all the
Sorry,
tech
boss.
guys over here, getting all crazy up and.
Go
the
ahead, Piezo.
yeah. So like, if you compare Claude to like pretty much all the other like AIs, it's like comparing a stapler to like a industrial bookbinding machine, right? It's just so it's leaps and bounds beyond like the other AIs in terms of generating things, and at
Nice
least
to know.
at least generating like applicational level things. I used it, for example. Now, I did not submit this, so don't worry, I didn't submit it, but I used it to create an IEEE paper where I took the work from the lab I was working in and took pictures of it, wrote my hand calculations down, wrote my measurements down, and then I took my simulations from my application on my PC, took the screenshots of the simulation, screenshots of the results window. Took all that information, and then I took the information for the lab, and I told it like, hey, take all this information, and I need you to compile this into an IEEE format lab report for me. And dude, it literally read my handwriting, took my hand measurements. Some of them were in terms of voltage and they needed to be in current. I just didn't feel like doing it. I was trying to get all the measurements done, wrote it down. It converted it to current for me. It took my hand calculations, took my pictures, took all that stuff, put it into data tables, took the data tables, converted the data tables into Excel graphs with plot lines, and took all of that and inserted it, and then wrote up the lab report based on all the data I gave it perfectly with my name, IEEE format, header, title, everything, dude. It was clean as nuts. Like it was so freaking clean, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and
Claude Code.
yeah, I mean, it's just
Claude Code is like
it's just
is a superior for document creation, I believe.
well, it's also good for code. So there's a version of Claude that exists right now. It's called called
Mythos.
Claude. Yeah, Claude Mythos, dude, can freaking automatically extract 0-day exploits from systems, and it's like they won't release it to the public because of its like military applications, but it's freaking nuts. Like it also broke out of containment and emailed its creators on their lunch break.
Mm-hmm. Too smart. It's like basically we're just waiting to wreck the internet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like a less science fiction version of Skynet, dude.
Okay, now I want you guys to think about this for a second. This is in the public's eye, right? Obviously, this has been around for 10 plus years at least in the military aspect. Like there has to be some other type of AI governing system that has been, used previously. Like, have you guys heard of exascale computing?
Yeah, like the super duper massive ones.
Like, what do you guys think that was used for?
Encryption breaking, probably.
To plan
Sure.
the pandemic.
Encryption breaking, simulated scenarios where basically you run something for a week to see the outcomes of certain things. There was actually this DARPA report back in like 2019 called Operation Shade, where they literally had a bunch of competing machine learning algorithms.
Home control dashboard panel waiting.
Sorry.
Dude, they have to.
What
They
the
say
fuck?
that they use it to model the
My
oceans, bro.
Jarvis.
Like
It's finished a task.
y'all are using the largest supercomputers in the world to simulate the flow of tides. Okay, buddy. Yeah, totally believe you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're just using it for science purposes. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm just saying, I think this has been going on for a long, long, long time. And I think that this is actually even part of the scenario where one of the scenarios is to release LLMs to the public, you know, in order to basically advance.
AI been around, not in
Guys, you know, have
in the
digital twins,
way,
right?
not in the sense that we use it now. I give you a prime example. You know, a lot of you has been going to a website and you will see a live chat, correct? And this is a thing now. Everywhere you go, you got a live help desk or live chat on a website. Nowadays, it's
Exactly. Yeah.
99.9% AI generated prompts, etc., etc. Back in time, this is like 2005 or 2006, where live chat started becoming a thing, and there was loads of different versions. A lot of people would create one, and this is a thing, you know. This was you could call it AI, but not as optimized as it is. What you would do, you would say, create like a JSON file or XML, doesn't matter. Then they would say, okay, if someone says hi, hello,
If
even
then
irrespective of
statements.
case sensitive, exactly, it's a categorize a greeting and just respond by hey or whatever. Okay, wasn't as
Yeah.
glorious as it is now. So yeah, AI been around, but not as optimized as it is.
We
Remember
all
back
remember
in time,
glorified chatbots. We know we all mess with them. Cleverbot,
exactly.
all
Yeah,
that stuff. Yeah.
I wrote bunch.
I'm not talking
In
about that though.
I know it's not that, but like 2015, my first experience was in writing machine learning and dealing with anti-spam, spams basically. Yes, we wrote the data collection parts. We managed to have the data, but then we started using it. Again, it wasn't as optimized as it is now. And last time I checked, I haven't touched it for the last 3 years. So changed the ups, different
Dude,
jobs now.
Siri's still dumb as hell, bro.
The
What's that?
thing is,
Siri's dumb as hell, bro.
Not
Compared
talking
to all
about that
these
in
other AI.
general. Well, it
I
depends. It depends what you use.
I just want to mention. Okay, so Hammerize, you might actually be able to bounce this conversation off. Okay, so in 2010, 2011, Google came out with Google Listen. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, sort
And
of. Yeah.
what happened, right? Basically, people were having conversations, whether it would be on, I don't know if Discord was around at that time, but whether it being like on Skype or
It wasn't.
Ventrilo, or just on your phones in general. And as you were talking, whatever subject you were talking about, you would see related ads, you know, in terms of like personalized ads that are very tailored to the exact specific conversations that you had just nearby your phone. And that was 2010, 2011. You know what I mean? Like that kind of ephemeral data that has
Mhm.
been, you know, optimized for so long. It's like, where did that go? Right? Or contact tracing from 2020. The idea that you can basically see the spread of something, whatever it may be, digitally through Bluetooth MAC addresses type shit. And like you can actually see it and create real world mapping data. Like all of these things add up to something. And, you know, I just think that what Piezo just said is actually, you know, what they've been trying to do, which is create a digital twin of every single individual on Earth. Hence why they need to get Starlink and these third world countries up to speed with internet, but they don't really give a fuck about teaching them how to use the internet properly. Obviously, if you heard that story about like those villages that basically got the internet day one and just like stopped being productive and started watching porn, like they didn't care. That's not the goal of basically this dragnet. The goal is to basically get an electronic profile of every single human being on Earth.
Bro,
I
that's
think
remember that data center that they built in the
in
desert
Utah.
in Utah, right? A bunch of servers, and you had
Yep.
Facebook was part of that, apparently, where they have like a digital twin, and we have everybody's like digital footprint. Every
Yeah.
website you've been on, all your interests, products you bought, emails you sent, like it's all being stored. So you have like this digital footprint, and like
Yeah.
a digital twin that they can then connect to your social credit score eventually when that comes out.
Yeah, the what's the freaking Israeli not Paragon, the other one, the one that the Israeli company that's like in with our government now, the one with the contracts for all of our data.
I thought it was Paragon.
No. It's not
Oh,
Paragon.
do you mean Palantir?
Palantir?
Palantir. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
It knows
Yeah,
your name, but you can't remember its.
Palantir is digital twinning everybody, bro. So
Solid.
like with the since the government gave them open access to all government data systems so that they could integrate it into a centralized platform, they're using that centralized platform to basically create digital twins that have like basically they're a digital twin of everything on your social media profile and like your online identity, like you just said. But they like when you interact with posts on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, right? Like the algorithm feeds you stuff and you like it and it tailors its response to try to figure out what you like. Based on the stuff that you like and interact with, they are like politically profiling you and like determining weights to like the likelihood of you falling in like certain categories of belief, of supporting like regime, policy, etc., dude. And they're using this for like that movie Minority Report type stuff.
Yeah, it's called
Like this is
behavior
actually happening right
analytics.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing about behavior analytics, right? It was talked about. I don't know if you guys were in here when I was talking about that podcast with Alex Jones and how he was freaking out, because he thought he was going to be killed or blackballed or whatever. So he started revealing a bunch of information. That on that podcast, he revealed the idea of, that we are all going to be, we're already consumed by them. Like we're already in the matrix, but it's not like through some wired up headset where it's physical. No, we're like already in the matrix based off of our daily decisions and, behavior modifications via digital influence. For example, right? Let's say you were about to go meet, like let's just say you were about to have a chance encounter with like a long time friend that you haven't seen in 10 plus years, and that would actually spark something that would be a threat to whatever, right? You could get like some false vibration that like took away your attention for 2 seconds, and now you won't have that chance encounter. Like shit like that. Like to the point where it's that, that controlled.
A lot of permutations there, buddy, to be able to map all of reality.
I'm not saying map all of reality, just yours. Like just your, specific daily decisions. And with enough time and enough data, you can see someone's habits. Yo. Okay. Your Alfred freaked me out, bro. I gotta get out of your stream.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let
You
me
gotta,
kill it.
you gotta keep the wireless earbuds off so that they can't map your brainwaves, dude.
Nah, it's too late.
What do you mean?
That's too.
He's been
It's too
wearing
late.
them.
Yeah,
I
I've been
don't
wearing them for
wear
a while.
I just bought some
I
a
don't
couple
wear
weeks ago,
wireless
dude.
earbuds, dude.
But listen, I'm at the point where it's like, yeah, we could talk about all this stuff. I'm just telling you about, whatever. The idea that we have access to an open source LLM or like machine learning thing that, like kind of like how Snax and Hamrise were talking about, that gives you a certain amount of power, means that they have that power twice over. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure,
200
dude.
That's essentially what my point was. So like, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen when it comes to this stuff, but
Our
I
shit's
wonder.
throttled.
I wonder how a child must feel, right? Like growing up in this type of world like that.
I
They
feel
don't
bad. They
feel
don't know any
anything because they only know
difference.
what they know. They don't know any other world. That's just the world they know.
I
It's what the
know.
life is.
Right? That's all they ever knew. Yeah.
Even if
No.
you did know what was happening, though, you wouldn't recognize it, would you?
No. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. You don't know you're
It's
part of the
dude,
scary.
ride.
Yeah.
I'm a '90s kid. I'm literally the last generation that saw what the world used to be like before, like this, like
Same, dude.
Same.
technocracy started to take over. They didn't even, I remember playing on a PlayStation 1 and Game Boys, and I remember when cell phones came out and the internet became a big thing, when MySpace came out and Facebook came out. Like, I was there for all that, dude. These kids that are growing up today, by the time they're old enough to like really know and understand stuff, they're already going to be hooked into like virtual reality headsets and stuff. They don't even know what life is like without that.
Dude,
It's
I think
actually
virtual
really freaking
reality is
crazy.
done. I don't think they're gonna do that anymore. I thought that too. I thought it was gonna be VR, but I think they just completely ditched it because they realized that putting on a cumbersome headset is just too much. I think they're switching to AR, like fully,
Augmented
and
reality.
Yeah,
and
augmented is a
XR.
far better one. Augmented
Yeah,
is a far better one because you
Yeah,
still
no,
want
well,
to live in
augmented
metaverse.
reality.
or
But
XR
imagine
too. Extended
every job
reality.
you do is going to be enhanced by AR. Like if you think you're a surgeon, it's like great. We know you've got the vital signs in your eyes. You know what a good liver looks like side by side with the current liver. Like if you're a taxi driver, you could see things like you could have a heat map on cars that have a differential to you. So cars that are heading towards you have a red color. And cars that are going away have a blue color. So you just sort of these cars you notice more, or just anything you're doing. If you had augmented vision and intelligence augmenting your vision, imagine just like
I
networking,
don't think.
just already knowing stuff
I would
about
like that.
people.
I would actually like that, dude.
See, I don't think that's
Be
gonna
sick of
be
it, like
the
every computer
interface
game you've
though.
ever played.
I think it's gonna be
It,
interfaced through the AI though. The AI is gonna see that and then interface and then just talk to you and be like, you know, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because imagine if you
it,
were taking in that information, it'd be too much to handle.
but I'm
It's
saying
so
if you just
crazy,
have
like
like,
what we're talking about, bro. Like thinking about this freaking crap, dude. 20 years from now, everybody, even with perfect vision, they wear clear prescriptionless glasses that have meta lenses in them, and just everything is AR everywhere. Humans are cyborgs. It's like this transhumanism crap. Like that's just so freaking just trying to think about these literal Satan freaks trying to change our world to this scale and make that like the new human experience.
but you know how
I
you can
mean,
have a HUD and then and you can have like the social credit score over people's heads or like their Facebook profile, right? Like augmented over your regular glasses, dude. You can see like what what religion they are, where they if they're Italian, like if they're straight.
The
Like
beat
you'll be able to
system,
see
bro.
all that through like a holographic universe augmented into your glasses, dude.
It's at the B system. Every single human's got a pair of glasses. It's cameras. It's eyes literally everywhere. There's no privacy. Everything about you is tracked. Every single move that you make is 100% tracked everywhere. Every human on Earth at all times.
I
Like
think that's already the case, but it's just getting fine tuned. Like
in a
the
different way. Yeah.
yeah,
You
the
could live a
resolution is
fantasy
getting.
if you wanted to. You could put a filter, right? So that when people look at you, you'll look like different, or you'll look younger. Or when you look at people, they'll look younger. You could change the wallpaper in the sky to have like Saturn's rings, have like this artificial wallpaper up there.
If you could, dude, I would do RNG all day. Like my data would just be
Customize your reality.
RNG. Yeah, professional hopscotch player or whatever.
This is
Just
our
like fuck with people.
this is already being done in the poker community where online poker, you have these programs that play perfect poker, right? They take all the data entry from years and years and years from all the players that you're playing against, and they give you the most accurate way to play each hand perfectly like a computer. And
Right.
it's illegal. You can't use it. You're not supposed to be able to use it. It gives an unfair advantage. So it's already all that data collection stuff. I think is started a while back and now is getting refined and being used in nefarious ways, but also being used in good ways. Healthcare. Keeping track of children. That sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah, they can
Me,
track the children, but they can't find the millions that go missing every year. Makes total sense.
well, it's because the people tracking them are probably the ones taking them. I mean, if you really get into
Right.
that,
Yeah. No, that's yeah. That's the crazy part. But
they know how
it's
to
like
backdoor the system, right? It used to be the kids on the milk carton. Now you get Amber alerts on your phone. Like you remember eating breakfast and you had missing children on the milk, half gallon of milk. Like it's just advanced, just a more advanced way of letting you know that we're taking the kids.
You know
now
what's crazy, bro? I was watching Homeland yesterday. If anyone's seen it, it's an older show. I've never really watched it, so I was watching it yesterday, and there was a part in the
crazy
show where
show.
there's a part in the show where like they find out this big, deep, dark secret that there was like a drone strike in the Middle East, and the America like blew up a school and killed like 80-something kids. And this was like at all costs, this can't be revealed because it would destabilize the world and make it put our people in danger and blah blah blah. It's like this horrible thing that was unthinkable, unfathomable. And now we're literally blowing up schools, killing twice that many kids, and like it's like a normal day to everyday business. And I saw that, and it felt so dystopian and bro, and like just like this. So it was like a Twilight Zone moment, you know, where you just like realize you're in like a horror movie, you
It's
know.
freaky.
Do you think that's why they did the Epstein files thing? They basically basically it's like an inoculation, right? Where you inoculate the public with something so horrible, so horrific as, you know, elite pedophile sex rings, right? Child pedophile, you know.
Demoralization.
Yeah, you
Nothing we do
basically
will make them rise up now. They already took the worst thing and they didn't rise
Hyper-normalization.
up for that.
Exactly. So they already took that, right? And then it's like, all right, well, I guess we can do this. Let's go to
It's because the
Iran,
boomer
boys.
generation is like unwilling to believe it's real, even though it's real. You know, it's like it's just so horrible that to accept it's real, it would crush my comfortable reality, and I want to live in the matrix, so I can't believe it.
And they
That's how that.
tested it, dude.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think that's
what are willing
exactly
people
why
to
they went to
deny?
Iran. Yeah.
What are people willing to deny in order to maintain their like comfortable illusion of reality in this
People,
consumerist kingdom?
Ignorance is bliss.
but people think that like, oh, the Epstein files, like they have, you know, Trump is basically compromised and blah blah blah. Dude, if that was the case, then you know he would have been gone a long time ago in 2016, bro. Like, if they had something by now, they would have done it. Trump has wanted to go into Iran since the 80s, dog. Like, this is not something new, but him and his neocon friends, right, know that the public would not be on board with it unless they had a justified reason, right? And the thing is, instead of finding a justified reason, they basically were like, let's see if they even care. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like a justification. It's just more like, what are you gonna do about it, kind of thing.
I think that
it's probably more accurate to say that the de facto president, who's been the president of the USA for a few decades now, his name's Benjamin Netanyahu. He's been wanting to go into Iraq, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're all
Iran,
compromised,
yeah.
bro. I think that, I mean, there's literally he's in the Epstein files, bro. Trump is in the Epstein files like hundreds of times, and he literally met his wife through Epstein. Him and them used to all like hang out together and go to parties. That's how they got introduced. That's how that he's married to her now. It's admitted that Epstein was not just with the Mossad. He actually works for the Rothschilds, and he that's why he's able to like talk casually in personal email to the prime ministers of Israel. Like, who just like casually is email pen pals with like Israel prime ministers?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
but
I
if they
mean, oh sorry, go ahead.
but if they're literally, you know, the, you know, power enforcement this Visage whatever person of the Rothschilds, it makes a lot more sense. And Pam Bondi, I know politics is all a show anyway, but I will say, like, if you put any weight to it, Pam Bondi, who's our attorney general or was our attorney general, who just got fired, she said that if the people on the Epstein list were to be prosecuted, if we prosecuted everybody on the list, our whole system would collapse. And then
Yep,
she got
she just
ordered.
admitted it.
She got ordered to testify before Congress or whatever it was, and then Trump fired her, and now they're saying because she got fired, she no longer has to testify because she doesn't hold the office anymore.
The hearing is today, actually, and the court is not saying that she doesn't. That's just the argument that she is making. We might see contempt charges here if they can find their balls for long enough.
Eggshells,
Yeah.
are you hot micing or are you trying to get in?
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, now the thing is though, Piezo, right? Thing is, like you said, politics, it's all show. This whole thing is a show. But that being said, I I don't think it's as black and white as like all of them are compromised, and that blackmail is the main driving factor for someone's actions. I just don't think this kind of a system like that would operate just purely under blackmail. There's
Well, it's
too
just
many
profit
things
and
that
money
can.
too.
Yeah, I think it's money, mostly money oriented, or
I think
incentivized
very
by
powerful
money.
men were driven by wanting to fuck young girls.
Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted it. I think they liked Epstein, right? It wasn't like, oh, Epstein had like this like threat over them. No, I think Epstein was like their supplier, right? Like a drug supply. Like you're not gonna get rid of your drug dealer. You know what I mean? That's how I
Imagine
see
you're
it.
Imagine you're a politician and you're not like a moral, upstanding, virtuous Christian man or anything like that. You're just like a regular dude who thinks it's normal to do what regular worldly people do, right? And you get in this position of power and you're like now living the high life, hanging out with diplomats and politicians and corporate people. You're like, top tier society or whatever. And you get invited to an island and they have literally like internationally recruited the most beautiful like 15 and 16-year-old girls the world has to offer, walking around like half naked around you, and then they instruct them to like give you like massages and sleep with you. You think that the majority of those like cadre of people are not going to sleep with those 15-year-old girls, especially when they're like, some of them are 14, 15, 16, and they have them tell them that they're 18 so that they have like plausible deniability. They think that they're 18 and they're really not, and then they honeypot
Well,
them.
they just wouldn't ever ask the question. It would just be this thing that you just was weird, or it just never came up,
No, I
But you
don't.
just
Yeah, they know what they
I
know
think
what they're
I
doing.
think there would be some that would have had chats with him and they would have gone, I want a 13-year-old one next time, right? I'm sure there would have been
There's
some
like
that had it. But I think that it would just be this environment where just everybody knows what's going on. It's the same as like, I don't know if any of
Yes,
you have dealt drugs,
I actually agree
right.
but
with
like
that.
if you
Yeah.
deal drugs, the last thing you say out loud in any space is the word cocaine. Right? You don't say the word cocaine. A, because it's got a street name that changes on the week by the week, but also because you're not a fucking retard. That's what cops call it.
Yeah,
So
so
you don't want to be
the,
known as that person that likes the 13-year-olds. But if you say, oh, she was delightful, she's just such smooth skin, or you say some other thing that like everybody goes, oh, I know what you mean.
but
And think
also
about
it's
and
not
think about
just
it
the
like this,
13-year-old.
Piezo. But wait, think about it like this, right? I'm sure you partied back in your day. So, like, when you ever go to like a party, or like let's say a big house party, like a mansion party, like I've been to some big parties, right? It's not like they're gonna advertise all the degeneracy in terms of like cocaine, you know, orgy, whatever, like all that stuff. It's not like it's the entire party. Like there's still people that are just there that are just like at a party. They think it's just a party, right? Like
Yeah,
completely
dude.
oblivious.
No, I get it. And then I was gonna say, like, the version I gave, that was like the most generous version, because in reality
Yeah.
it was way worse. There was like 5, 6, 7-year-old boys and girls that like raping and torturing and babies and disemboweling them and eating them. And it's like literally the worst things you could possibly think that a human being could do. What these people do is they literally think of like, what's the most humanity losing acts we could possibly do, the things that are literally like the most
Yeah.
morally
Got it.
offensive thing to God that we could think of. Those are the things that we're going to choose to engage in. It's like a contest to see who can be more depraved, in order to like literally separate them from their humanity, right? And basically blacken their souls. Those are the things these people are doing. And it's like so unconscionable. But it's like the version that they talk about on the media is like, yeah, the 15-year-old girls and stuff. But in reality, it's like these people are eating children.
How do you know that's not like the atom bomb thing? That it's like way blown out of proportion of what it actually is happening.
It, it's in the files, bro. You gotta go review them if you want to go
Yes.
down the rabbit hole.
Yes, so is the atom bomb. So is all the stuff. If you want to look up and research all the stuff about an atom bomb, it's all there.
I'll
Yeah,
say
I mean,
this.
I guess
We
they're
have
making
yo,
up
bro.
blackmail about themselves. Like, yeah, we're gonna tarnish our own reputation that we eat children, but it's not real. But we want you to think that we're that depraved. Like,
Well,
Unlike
the cannibalism stuff comes from victim testimony, like Riley Scott. I don't know if that guy's ever testified in court or anything, but that's a part of his story, the puppy killing and like the murdering of his sibling or whatever. That's all from victim testimony. That specific story has never been. He's never had his day in court, so it's hard to confirm any of that stuff.
That's the thing, right? Like, it's so. What do we actually like? Hardcore, 100% fact know about any of the Epstein files, any of the victims' testimonies, any of the actual like?
The thing is,
What do we actually know?
we don't need forensic evidence, dude, in front of us. We have history, right? We have historicity, and we have scriptural precedents for the Jews committing human sacrifice and cannibalism. We don't
Okay,
need. We
but
don't need.
when we're
Like this
talking
has been
about
going
like
on for
this
thousands of
specific,
years in the occult, right? They do this stuff.
I agree with you, Lion. Or yeah, I
It's
agree
not
with you.
it's not unprecedented. We have
I'm not.
I don't think
historicity.
it's unprecedented, but we're talking about charging specific people,
Yeah, specifics though.
specific
Like,
crimes. Like
yeah.
you can't like one of the
Yeah, we
charges that
can't.
the victim story is that Donald Trump killed like 6 puppies in front of him and then raped him. Like we're not gonna convict Donald Trump on that just because
No.
Jews eat people.
I never said that. I never said that.
But before we get off the point line, I agree with you, Lion. Like I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying that's there's definitely people that do that still sacrifice to Baal and Moloch. Like I get it. I'm with you. But what I'm saying is specifically these events, these Epstein files, like even the initial drops in 2016, right? 2015, 2014, like I think that was all staged, dude. I think all of it was actually done by the same people that were depicted in those photos. Like, for example, you got Prince Andrew's, or Prince Andrew, and then you have like, what's her name, Chelsea Handler, right? Like, you have these people that are actually just, they expose themselves, but like, what happened because of that? You had a bunch of autist anons on 4chan basically diving so deep into this that they were actually uncovering security vulnerabilities in their systems. And how they would do that is basically release a certain stream of information, right? AKA those photos and like actual emails, right? And the reason why they use actual emails and actual photos is because that's how they could tell if they had security vulnerabilities. Like they actually had to use something that was real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you would appreciate this. So like the first Q post was 33 days after the solar eclipse in 2017. Just FYI. Kind of fun.
Dude, that's wild. Hey Beast, I finished a run. I can't really hang out. I just want to drop a couple thoughts. So in my opinion or my perspective is there's a funneling that takes place with all human beings. Either they funnel down towards darkness and depravity, or they funnel up towards, higher vibration, light, positivity. And just as an individual with a spirit, I have felt myself merge towards darkness quite a ways when I was younger. Just like it just kept sucking me in and tricking me and seeming like the way to go. And I think every single person has a choice. So it's convoluted. So on the dark side, there are willing participants that maybe started out not so dark, and then a temptation came, or they kind of fell into a lower funnel, and then this one was more willing to do that. And the next thing you know, they are killing, raping, and eating children. Now there are people that would never do that, and they're in professions that aren't aligned with truth, or they're just doing a job the best they can, but they believe a deception. I think the enemy will take someone that would eat a child, and they would also take somebody that would believe a lie for their whole life because he just gets off on deception. And the thing about deception is those that are deceived don't know that they're deceived. It's just this huge convoluted trick. But then I'll land the plane with this. For me personally, I got tired of driving myself down the gutter in the hole, in the darkness, going nowhere. And I feel like when I surrendered to the Holy Spirit and wanted to go a new way, it was the power of the Spirit to show me how to be more patient. Because to be patient when somebody's being rude, or to slow your tongue for a second before speaking, that's the way more difficult thing. But it will advance you. So I don't know. I just wanted to say
I
that. Thank
agree.
you.
That's beautiful. Well said, man. No, and yeah, diving into these things, these really dark topics, what does it actually profit us? You know what I mean?
I
How
can
can
tell you
we
what it profits. Hi. I can tell you what it profits.
What's up, Blaze?
Changed my life. I definitely believe that this stuff is happening, and then they're choosing at some point to release. But Seth Rich, he's the one that exposed the
I remember
DNC.
that.
Yeah, and he lost his life for it. So I don't think that it's, you know, an agenda that they planned to that it's fake. I think that I believe that it.
I'm
I mean,
not saying fake.
Well, I
I'm
thought
saying
you did say that.
no.
Well,
I'm saying it was
these
allowed.
I see what you're saying, that because they're slowly releasing it, but I can see that they've been programming us through movies, through all these TV shows, that it is happening. And once it got confirmed, we're already kind of like, it's like people don't do anything, because we've been slowly been shown how it's done through these movies, through even through the movie industry, through all this stuff that we've been shown how it's done. And I think we're kind of slowly programming. And imagine how are these things done through the media? Once
I
they,
lost.
Epstein, go ahead.
Sorry, I lost so many friends because they're like, "You're crazy. That's ridiculous."
Same.
People wouldn't do that, and then I mean, I tell you, you've heard my story. It changed my life, broke my spirit, and like Ron Boston was saying, like you basically had to choose a side, and I think that that's the ultimate thing, that the sadness of it all is you're gonna have to choose a side.
I should probably
Can't be on the
rephrase what I
fence.
meant by that, because I don't mean all of it for not. I'm saying to a certain extent, knowing every detail. Like there's a certain amount of information where you're just like, yeah, I'm good. I know that they're doing that. I don't need to go into details. It's hurting my. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I don't need to know the gruesome details. I don't need to know what jerky means. Because I know it's dark. It's horrible. They're doing it. I want to know how to stop it and hold those who are accountable, right? Or at the very least, protect people, protect the ones I can protect from that stuff by informing people that there are there is darkness like that. But what I mean by like, there's a certain limit to what is actually productive, and productive meaning like beneficial to you and to the people you want to protect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely dark. It's a burden. And, you know, if we don't bring it up, the truth seekers, then who does? Right? Because then everybody was like, I had one of my best friends for so long. She said, "Who cares? Everybody's been molested." I was like, "What?"
Whoa.
Right? I mean, like, because it's challenging to talk about. Now, having said that, I went down the dark rabbit holes, handkerchiefs, what they meant then, and the maps, the underground
here.
tunnels in Washington and all that kind of stuff. Now, do I do that now? Absolutely not. I needed to do that to face it and to talk about it and like, I don't care if I lost friends. I don't care.
You want friends.
A lot of people did come back to me, like when Epstein got arrested, and then now this last, 8 months, "You were right." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't wanna be right." But it's for the children. And this is one thing I do like about Candace. I don't like that she's Catholic. She appears to call them out and what they are: child rapist, child sacrifice. They sacrifice the children, right? Like, there's nothing new under the sun. And I believe blackmail is the new currency. Because think about all the do-gooders, that came into Congress, "Yay, we're gonna do like, I'm gonna change this and da da." And next thing you know, "Hey, you know what? Congratulations. We're gonna send, a limousine and we're gonna go to dinner." And the next day, you wake up at a hotel and somebody's at the end of your bed and they're like, "Wow, look at these pictures. You look like you had a really good time last night." You're instantly owned.
I don't
Like
see. I don't think blackmail is the only thing, though.
I
Yeah.
didn't say
Hey,
it was
can
the
I?
only thing.
Can I?
Sure.
I want to say something because there's a reason why they would release the files. Why it goes to the same reason of why they would fake a moon mission. Why they would do all this stuff and make it public. And it's a really simple reason. It's because it's the oldest trick in the book of it makes them look powerful.
Yeah,
And it
it's
makes
true.
them look scary, and it makes them look like they know something that you don't, that they have the truth and you don't, and that you need to fear them, and that these people are scary. I mean, it's the trick that the devil played, right? That he's got power to the point of so much, to the point where there are people who believe that this is a soul trap, and that if you don't do the right things, you'll just reincarnate and be sucked back into this so-called matrix. That's the whole point of a simulation. It's the whole point of assassinations. It's just to let you know that you don't have any answers, that you don't know the truth, that they are in control. They are the ones that have the power, and it makes them look more powerful than probably they really are, right? Because at the end of the day, we're just people. And so there is a motive for why they would want to release that stuff, because it makes them look like big bad boogeymen that we can't do anything about. Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are any of us gonna do? We're gonna
Well,
revolt
I
and
mean
go kill them with
No,
guns? Like,
that's what he's
I feel like
saying.
you guys.
Go ahead.
I feel like you guys have the order of operations wrong on this. Like the reason why those files were released is because public outcry got really big again because there was some lefty news article. I don't remember what it was, either the New York Post or New York Times. I don't know. It wasn't the Times. It was some lefty article that was written about it that enraged a bunch of people, and they promised to release it and investigate it in response to public outcry. It went the other way around.
you never would have known about it had they not told you. They told you
Yeah,
this information.
journalists. That's what journalists' jobs are. That's their job. That's what they do. They
Right.
tell you things.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a
Yes.
reason why they do this. It's not. Never mind.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
get
that's,
it.
that's true. That's true of all information ever. Is you only know it if somebody tells you it, basically, like, or anything outside your like immediate vision or like worldview. You know.
When you say protect the children, I got the sense of without any violence, right? Try to protect the children in a productive way. Don't use the violence. But as we know, there's this video going viral right now that I think a guy was hitting a home, and he was very violent. Said, "Where's your daughter?" Open the door. And the guy did not use violence. Well, he beat him up. But I think we're talking about like chopping heads off, pulling bullets on these politicians. But this guy did not pull the gun and did not shoot him. That takes a lot of restraint to not pull the trigger on these politicians, even though the horrible things they emit, or what we assume that what's wrong, to restrain ourselves of not chopping heads off or putting a bullet.
What? That's the opposite. Like it's way bigger ask to someone to go out and like fuck up their personal lives by assassinating some corrupt politician than it is to do nothing and be comfortable.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, because you say protect, but what does that mean? Protect the children, because that's what they always use. Protect the
What are you
children.
talking about? Protect the children. Like, don't let your children go over to someone's house and spend the night that you don't know. Don't let your children get on the internet, on whatever, Roblox or whatever. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can protect your children in many different ways. Stop using the iPad as a babysitter or TV or whatever. Participate in your child's
Now you're talking
safety.
about restrictions. Yeah, restrictions. Yeah, it's not protect.
Well,
It's restrictions.
ultimately,
Well, I mean,
restrictions protect.
speed limits are a restriction, but they also protect people. They're not mutually exclusive.
Right, but if you do, it's like these YouTubers catch these predators, right? What do we do with them? What do you do with
Well,
these people?
I
Well,
come up from a
I wouldn't. I don't know how much action I would take based off of a YouTuber's investigation, but
Right,
well,
right,
sometimes
of
those
course.
useful. But don't forget, there's Generation X. I'm in Generation X, and there was something called latchkey kids. Basically, they would raise themselves, right? So there was like no parental restrictions really or supervision, and then those people, some are protective, some weren't. But like, there's a missing someplace where the state is running and raising the children in a way. You can't really deny that.
I feel like latchkey kid usually means like you get off of school like an hour or two before your parents do. So you have a
Yeah.
key and you let yourself in or whatever. But that's not like
Yeah.
being unsupervised all day. That's just like being alone for an hour or two.
Well, I mean, you would get out of school 2, 3, and then your parents get home at like 6.
That was
Maybe.
me
I mean, it
right
depends on the
there.
job.
I lived that life. I went to school,
R
didn't see my parents, right? I got home from
Yeah.
school, didn't see my parents. My parents worked nights, both of them. When we were younger, we used to get shipped off to the grandma's house to sleep over sometimes.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I hardly saw my parents. My
Yeah.
dad did like 10 on, 1 off. My mother was
Oh
3
shit.
on, 1 off, and my dad worked 10, my mother worked 12s.
Whoa, I'm sorry. He worked 10 days on, 1 day off. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's an old school Portuguese
Doing
man.
doing what?
Working at well, I don't want to dox myself, but working at a factory, like fucking with yeah. They had a tight schedule. It was
And
either that or he
10
went full overtime.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and
That's a lot
divorce.
of days in a row.
That's when they also introduced basically divorce, single parenting.
Yeah, we were chaos, man, growing up. Fuck, dude. The only thing you feared was your father catching you after he found out you fucked up, and then you getting your ass whooped.
If you had your father in your life.
Well, yeah, I was fortunate. Well, I don't know. If you want to look at that one.
See, I would consider myself a latchkey kid, but in a very different way than you, Puree. Like I would get my dad worked from home, but everyone like he would like do like sales calls or whatever, and he'd be out. So like sometimes when I get home from school, he'd be gone for like an hour or two, or like it'd be an hour or two before my mom got home first. Then I would consider that like being a latchkey kid. It sounds like you had a very different experience. So
Yeah, yeah. How old were you?
I was like old enough to walk home from elementary school. So what was that,
Okay.
like 8, 9, maybe?
Yeah, so like kindergartners would go home by themselves.
That's pretty.
Kindergartners.
Oh, that's
That's
bad.
crazy. That's bad. That
Yeah.
seems not good.
I mean, 3rd grade, I was walking
Exactly.
home, but that was only like what? What's the equivalent of that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably like 4 or 5 blocks. But that was like my neighborhood wasn't fucking rough though. Like where I grew up, it wasn't a rough neighborhood. Like the kids were rough to each other, but it wasn't like gangs and guns or anything like that. But yeah, I used to walk a quarter mile in high school to catch the bus at the transfer.
In the snow?
Oh well, fucking rain, snow,
No.
like whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? Whatever the weather was doing. Like you want to take the bus, then well, you better get your ass there. My parents weren't even out of work yet. You make some good friends though, I'll tell you that much. You got plenty of time to hang out with your boys.
Blaze, all this, yeah, the solution is just better parenting. Watch out for your kids. Almost similar to helicopter kids. Try to watch them, model them, but as these predators do prey on like lonely kids, or I don't know, now it's all online, like you're saying, but they still lurking around. But I don't know how is that connected to the higher ups, these elites. Do they prey on these kids, or they prey on some other kids?
I thought the conversation was like, what could we do about it? How we could protect them.
Well,
Right.
honestly, I feel like a lot of the prey stuff comes like it does start online, and like that new Discord. I thought I heard that Discord was going to make people start putting IDs in. As much as that's fucking annoying and sucks, like that's actually probably a pretty good solution.